I think we just went live. Testing 999999999. Oh, I'm sorry. We did go live. Hey, it is December 16th. It's 9 days till Christmas. Where are you? You're right there. Only 9 days till we actually go ho, ho, ho. It was the night before Christmas, when all through the night, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey, where are you, baby? Hey, here we go. All right, so we are live, and I think I should settle down. I got myself all hyper because it's only 9 days till Christmas, and this is kind of like the time that I like to shine. Plus, I was talking or watching our buddy Simon, who is an ordinary filmmaker, and he was telling that he had gotten some information that the Panasonic S5 Mark II, and that it's supposed to actually be a pretty knockout camera by what I was listening to him on his broadcast. So I was excited about that because I happen to like very much Panasonic. I like the GH4, the GH5, the GH6, the GH... Well, we haven't gotten past GH6. So we have on the Panasonic side, we have the S1. We don't have an S2, but we have an S1H. We have an S1R, and we have an S5. That's what we got. So Panasonic could be coming out with the S5 Mark II. And I even saw, what's his name? Yamani. Yamani is like one of the top doohickey guys at Panasonic. I saw this on another channel. It was an Ordinary Filmmaker. Sorry, Simon. But it basically has him, I'm guessing he's a high upper person. And he said between here and here, how close are we to actually having a new focus system or a new camera and stuff like that? And he said, well, between here and here, we're basically right here. Well, that was a few months back. So there might be a new S5 coming out. And then it also, I saw some video where Panasonic is kind of following the Sony route, the Canon route, the who else does that, where they get a bunch of people and fly them someplace complimentary, because they kind of want a good response to be coming in, you know, in favor of their camera. So the word on the street, let me pick up the word off the street. Oh, okay, the word on the street. Wait, let's do this better. Okay, I picked up the word off the street. Okay, so the word on the street is they have flown over many people, or some people, and they even named some of them. Where did I see that? Oh, influencers gather in Tokyo. It's on photorumors.com. And Simon brought that up also. So Simon, I was just like looking at my YouTube, and then Simon, all of a sudden, there he was, getting me all excited about the Panasonic. So let's get the show rolling. Let's turn on our rotating cameras so I can kind of walk around a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to do a video probably for tomorrow talking about Simon's video at Ordinary Filmmaker, which is on really a face detection, phase detection. There's a difference between face detection, which is FACE, versus phase, PHASE. What's with the clapping of the hands? I don't know. Okay, so anyway, but they both need to be there, and it needs to be a really good focus system, because I'm just practicing and warming up for my video that I'm going to make for tomorrow, because Panasonic shot themselves in the foot when they came out with the GH5 by heralding. I need a flag, okay? Here, what does the green flag mean? Okay, they were walking and heralding that they had the best focus system in the world, the fastest focus system in the world. So when they came out with the GH5, of course, we are going to have a big, strong paying attention of whatchamacallit, their focusing system. And guess what? It sounded not so good. Okay, so I'm changing topics, and then we'll get back to the Panasonic possible S5. I just opened up the what is the name of this thing? Rode Go 2. Okay, let's see if I can get you a picture of this stuff. Somebody's in charge around here. Let's go over to Nikon, which is my sitting down, but let's go close up. Okay, so if I bring this in right here and try to make it so that there's no glare. Come on, Mr. Gregg, let's get, all right, I'll just get closer. Okay, there we go. All right, so I just opened that. There it is. I opened it. Okay, and it came with 2 of these. And I was just fiddling with that just a few minutes ago, but I haven't heard what it sounds like yet. So I guess you're going to hear what it sounds like before I do. Let's go back to a real camera. Okay, let's go to the R6. And hey, R6, you going to wake up? Okay, so no, I want to go over to the E10. All right, so this is the receiver on the Rode GoPro. Okay, it's not a GoPro. GoPro is a camera. Hello. Okay, so this is the wireless Go 2. So I need to unplug the mic that I've got running right now, and go over to the to this mic. Okay, so I'm going to mute this mic for the one that you're listening to right now for a second. I'm going to plug this guy in, and then we're going to hear what the Go. This is straight out of the box. I don't even know what these buttons do. Okay, I can see that it's actually, well, I can show it to you. Let's go back to that Nikon. Okay, so you can actually see as I talk. Hello. There we go. You can see as I talk, you can see the meter running over there. All right. But I hope you guys are smart enough to realize that it's not plugged in. So let's plug this in. Unplug the Sony. This is the Sony Professional. This is like a $700 job. Okay, so let's plug in the Sony and see what the wireless Go 2 sounds like. All right, and I've got that pinned right here. Can you see it? Can you see it right there? Okay, that's plugged into a transmitter that's in my pocket, my pocketa. Is it in my pocket? Where is it? Oh, yeah, it's in my pocket. Okay, and this is what that looks like. All right, so I'm putting it in my back pocket, so it's not in my front pocket, because in the front pocket I got the Sony transmitter. So give me a second to unplug and plug in the Go mic. Okay, and I'm going to see. Well, actually, you're going to see. I'm going to hear what it plays back when I play back this video after the show is over. So we're all going to hear what it sounds like together. But I do have to mute. Oh, I can mute, but I can go over to this mic, so you can continue to hear me. Wow. Okay, let's make sure. Okay, so you can still hear me. This is a Shure SM58 mic. Okay, so I'm going to unplug the Sony, and this, I'm so brilliant. Just plug in the one mic and then plug in the other. Dang. Okay, I plugged it in. All right, so now I have the Go wireless Go 2. And you're actually, let's put this mic down. So you're listening to the Rode wireless Go 2. So you guys are going to have to tell me what that sounds like, because I can't hear it here, because if I turn up the volume, we'll get feedback. So basically, I have to actually turn down the volume. So you're going to hear it right now. I'm going to hear it when the show finishes, and I go back to bed, okay? And then I'll watch some of this show and find it. So Mark is giving me instant feedback. Sounds awful. Oh, okay, what the heck? All right, so is it let's see, what kind of adjustments do I have on here? So this is what would happen if you opened it and you just plugged it in. Okay, so I can see it hearing the yellow. Let's hit this a couple of times. Okay, so it lowered it down, so it's not quite as loud. Did that make it better? Now that I lowered the volume on it. Did I lower the volume? It's still hitting the yellow. Okay, let's see if I can lower it a little bit more. Okay, so now it lowered it. It looked like it's going down. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I think I'm turning down the dB because there's a dB button. Okay, and I'm turning down the dB on this, but I don't see that registering on the meter, which is going like this. So I'm going to hold it and testing 1, 2, 3. Now holding it didn't lower it. So I'm going to tap it over and over, and that seems to be lowering it. Okay, so I guess much better. So okay, so now I will go back to the Sony that I use every night, all night, you know, and go back to that one. So first I'm going to turn on the Shure SM58. Okay, so now you're listening to the Shure SM58 so that you can hear me unplug the one and replug in the Sony. Okay, so the Sony lapel mic is taped under to my chest, under the shirt. The Go, whatever it's called, is right there. So now we're going to turn on. Okay, so that's the Sony now, and you can hear what that sounds like with the Sony. Okay, so the Sony is coming in pretty much just at the correct level. It's just tapping the yellow. I should have paid attention when it was tapping the yellow over there. So this is what the Sony sounds like. So I will get to hear what we have going. So I got a harebrained idea like an hour before the show went live. I wanted to open the box. I could tell you something that's a little bit of a surprise. This is not something that I actually was expecting. So let's see what you guys are saying, okay? So starting at the top, Scotty's here. Hi, Big Scott. So we have crispy chicken sandwiches from Popeyes and a side of coleslaw. So he brought up the food. Charles is here, and he's saying hello to everybody. And Woody is here. If I can click. There's Woody. Hi, Peter and everyone. My eyes are tired. My eyes adored you. Just finished culling. Ooh, culling. That's something I do a lot. 359 high school basketball photos. 359. That's still a big job, right? So, yeah. But when the weddings, I culled between 2,000 and 4,000 pictures. So, but I've done it for so long, I'm really good at culling, but that's kind of like tooting my own horn. Okay, so let's not do that so much. So while we're reading, which mic am I using? Okay, I'm using the Sony. Okay, so let's go over here and sit down, and I could chat with you from the chair. Not that chair, that's Jingle Bells' chair. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Nikons, because the Nikon is my sitting camera. Okay, so Charles said hi to everybody. Woody said hi, Peter and everybody. My eyes are tired. I just finished culling 359. You have to cull. If you give too many, that'll be in my course that I'm actually in the process of recording now. If you give more than 200, unless it's like a class where you have to take a picture every child or student, what is a better name for it. So you can't overwhelm them. So people will shoot weddings and then present them with 1,000 pictures to see of their wedding. The bride can't handle that. Okay, this is my experience. You could have a different experience and you can have different words. Get your own channel. but mine and my course is going to teach you need to cull down to maybe about, for a wedding, maybe at the most 250, maybe 300 pictures. Over that, they're overwhelmed. So if I take 5 pictures of me doing this, okay, only one should make it through. Now, it's hard to take your pictures and throw them on the editing room floor. I understand that, okay? I had that problem at the beginning of my career. But at the beginning of my career, thank God, I did not start in digital. I started in film in the 70s and 80s. So you didn't shoot 2,000 pictures. You carefully shot 2 at the most, okay, especially on critical pictures. But now, you know how much it costs to take a picture with a digital camera? Nothing. It's free. So I'd come home between 2,000 and 4,000 pictures. The bride can't handle that. The mother can't handle that. Okay, they see 30 pictures of the same thing. So what Woody is doing is a professional level workflow, and it's called culling. Culling is when you compare the 10, 15, or whatever number of pictures of the same thing, and you pick out the best one. There might be a blink, there might be a half a blink, there might be a complete blink, okay? So you want the one that is the most flattering, and the others get left behind. It's a painful thing to do because basically you're throwing away your own kids. So that's what we've got. So that was Woody. Obviously, Scotty doesn't agree with me, but I agree with me. It's funny that I agree with me. Here's Simon. Simon is, hi Simon, how you doing? Merry Christmas, Peter. And Scott, so tired, so I might not be here long. Well, you were up late and early, and you put up a video, Simon, where it's inspired me. So tomorrow I'm going to make a video on the S5 Mark II, or whatever it's going to be called. We don't really know. No one's announced anything. But if they've gathered photographers or videographers at a place, they're doing the Canon, Sony, Nikon trick where it's, come here, we'll fly you over, we'll hand you the new camera, you'll be under NDA. See, I'm not under NDA, meaning I can talk. I can tell you what I think. I could tell you that if they put out a new camera, they being Panasonic, S5 being the new camera, because that's what all the rumors are about. The S5 is the oldest one. Don't get excited, Peter. Just lean back, set your shirt nicely. I get all excited when I talk about cameras. Cross your feet. Just, there you go. Now I can talk more peacefully. But this is what I think. No. Okay, so let's just stay calm. So, Panasonic, it keeps coming out with the same mistake over and over. And that's the DFD focus system. Okay, so they believe in it. It's obvious. And I got a lot to say. So I don't know if this is the time or the place, but I think by reading between the lines, so here's a line and here's a line, you read between them. Okay, you stick your head in there and you read between the lines. Okay, it looked like Panasonic was not willing to pony up the money that it was going to take to get into a phase detection focus system. So they kept marching forward with the DFD focus system. So what that focus system is about is its contrast detection. Contrast detection is an excellent focus system, and it's actually one of the most accurate focus systems. But there's a problem. There's a caveat that goes with that, okay? Let's see, where did I leave off? I need to make a mark here so that I can come back. So I left off here. I got to keep track because I keep getting these people popping in that want to take us to a sex show. A sex show. What sex? I'm not old enough to know what that is. Okay, so I just did a quick scan. So you guys that have wrenches, if somebody comes in like Sexy 69 and stuff like that, they've been bombarding me, which means I made it to somebody's list. Just delete it so other people don't have to be tempted with that kind of stuff. All right, so back to the Panasonic, the DFD. Have you ever gone to get glasses? Okay, like I've been to the psychiatrist to get glasses. Wait, it's not the psychiatrist. It's a gynecologist? No, it's not a gynecologist. What's the eye doctor called? Don't answer that. I'm joking with you. It's Friday. It's 9 days before Christmas. I'm jubilant. This is my time of the year, although I keep this alive all year long. Okay, so you go to the optometrist, and they put these glass things in these things, and they go, is this one sharper or is this one sharper? And they change between them, okay? And you're the contrast detect focus system, okay? So you pick out what is the sharpest thing. So that's contrast detection focus. It tests one against the other. The unfortunate part about that is you see the whole thing happening. And what we get to see is, like you see the lights on the Christmas tree, they would pulse, or I would pulse. That's DFD. So, but that's not true. It's not DFD, okay? That's contrast detection. So contrast detection would be in the Canon G7 Mark III, which is stupid. They should put dual pixel focus in that, but Canon, to what they want to do, fine. It's not, I don't run Canon. I don't run any of these companies. So what Panasonic said, we have to speed up this. Is this sharper or is this sharper? Because that's what your camera is doing. It's deciding which one is sharper. This one with this glass or this one with this glass. That's what you do with the optometrist. So it checks to see, okay? But because it takes a long time, we don't like that, all right? So Panasonic invented something, to their credit. They put in a database into the Panasonic GH5, the GH6, the GH4 that I have in the kitchen set, all right? They have a database on every single lens that they have. And as the contrast detection is focusing, excuse me, what they're doing with DFD is they're measuring how much it changed. And instead of like 10 or 15 comparisons, they brought it down to where maybe there's only 2 to 4 comparisons. That's what DFD is. It's a turbocharged version of contrast detection autofocus, okay? So they've been putting money there, and they've been doing better and better. So when the S5 Mark II hits, and we're just using that name as a placeholder, okay, because it could have a completely new name, okay? It could be the S6, could be the S4. We don't know what direction they're going to go. So the better the camera, because they got the S1, which is their better camera, it might be an S3. So we don't know. We're speculating on the name. We don't know what the name is going to be until they announce. But if people have cameras in hand over in Tokyo, and that's what Simon reported, if you wanted to see the video, if I remember, I'll put a link to Simon, which is Ordinary Filmmaker, so you could see the news. That's where you get the best news, is right there from Simon, okay? So if they continue with DFD, is one of two things. Either they're going to have a crazy, massive breakthrough on DFD, and it's going to be one of the best focus systems you've ever seen, or they're just going to continue to refine it, to massage it, to make it better, and you're still going to have what you don't have here. You don't have pulsing. So this is Nikon. So the Z6 actually has a very good focus system. So we left off with Ordinary Filmmaker. I got to talking a bit. I got myself excited. So I sat down to do all that explaining. So let's go back, and let me come back up and stand up and come back to the Christmas desk. Okay, so now this is the Christmas desk, and we're looking at whatever this says over here is what we're looking at. All right, so Ordinary Filmmaker in red. See where it's red on the comment over here? Whoop, all right. Go to his channel and you could see the update on that. And I will be doing a video of my own and reporting on it and telling you what's news. Okay, so where did we leave off? We got Matt. Matt, how you doing, Matt? Good to see you, buddy. And Matt is in the house. And is the R5 having a little bit of a focus problem tonight? Hello? Maybe I need to clean the glass? I don't know. So, hey, Peter, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Prospero años y felicidad. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so while we're on this mic, I do want to hear the Rode, because I just opened it up. And you guys said it was terrible. Okay, let's pick up the mic so people can hear. So let me plug in the Rode. Okay. Okay, so now the Rode is what you're hearing. All right, so the meter on the Rode is, it's actually showing tipping in the yellow. So we're doing good. So you have the privilege of actually comparing the Sony, which is my normal system that I've used for 100 years here, versus this new Rode Go 2, okay? So I did try to lower, I wonder if on the transmitter, if I have a button to lower the dBs. No, there's just one button, okay? Or I can unplug this mic here and, okay, so now this is the mic that's in my hands, and I could clip that to my chest. So you can compare that. So this is the little box. I don't like these little boxes because to me, they actually, I'm over here. I don't know why I'm facing it over there. It kind of looks ugly to have a box over here. That's what I'm thinking, okay? So I do have the Rode Go to plug in. Now I plug it all the way in, make sure it's seated well. Gonna put it in my back pocket so it doesn't interfere with the transmitter in my front pocket. Now I tried this before, I'm gonna try it again, okay? It's got a dB button and I can either press it or don't. So it's hitting the yellow quite hard. I wanted to lower it, so I'm gonna press that button and hold it, okay? Okay, now it's not moving. I want it to lower, so it's not actually moving. So unless there's something that I don't quite understand, there's only one button, guys. I mean, I can't be that dumb, okay? So I'm going to tap it over and over and hopefully get it to lower down. Okay, since it won't do that, I'm going to unclip the mic and I'm just going to lower it. Okay, so when the camera changes, you'll see I lowered it down, I would say about 3 inches, okay? So maybe that will sound better. And I can also raise up, I was on number 70, we'll go to 80, okay? So I raised up the volume, let's go to 85, because I wanted to tip the yellow like it does on the Sony. So now you can tell me how that looks, wrong word, how that sounds, okay, because obviously it's not lowering it down. So let me go to the end of the chat real quick and let me get your feedback. How does the Rode sound now? Unless I read the directions, I actually have no way to change the volume level because there's a dB button. So when you hold the dB button or press it, I'm assuming it's going to lower it, okay? So Mark says it still sounds awful. Okay, well, I'm very sad to hear that. I do have this system here also, which I will be plugging in. It was a roll of the dice to open the GoPro or to open this. So Mark, you said you've got these, right? How do you lower the decibel on the transmitter? Basically, it's just plugged right into the same spot where the Sony is plugged in, so I'm not changing anything at all. Internally, okay? So there's got to, Mark, if you know how to do that, go grab it and take a look real quick, okay? Well, Mark says it's terrible, and the gain is set on the receiver, Peter. That's what I got, the receiver, okay? So here's the receiver. Let's go to this mic real quick. Okay, and turn that one off. Okay, and I'm going to bring it here. Let's get to another camera. Let's go over to not the Canon. Let's go over to the Nikon. Okay, so this is the Nikon really close and uptight. Okay, so this is what it looks like. All right, let's get a little closer to get out of that glare. Okay, so this is what it looks like here, if I can get it to focus. There we go. Okay, so I have on the bottom here, if I can use get the focus, I have two choices, whether to use the 1 or 2 mics or a DB, okay? So I hold the DB button right here, okay? So Charles says I use the Rode Wireless Go 2, which is what this is, but you need to use the software and set the mic using the Rode app. It ain't gonna happen right now, buddy. I'm live, okay? So when I'm talking, you could see right there, okay, so you can see right there, it tips it right into the yellow, okay? So what I wanted to do, naturally speaking, is I actually want to go here where the DB button is and hold it and make it lower. Okay, so it doesn't do anything when I hold it. So I'm now tapping it. Can you see me pulsing my finger? And it's not lowering. So you can't lower it on this. Well, I shouldn't say that. Let's go back to a normal camera real quick. Okay, because Shane uses it and he sounds great. I mean, Shane uses the same system. Actually, he brought the system here. Okay, and he sounds absolutely terrific. All right, so let's plug the Rode back in, but it's not going to do a whole lot better. Is there another button on this thing? Okay, or is it a 2-button press? But I don't see a second button unless I press the on and off button and the DB button. Okay, so Sly says I have both the Godox and the Deity set, -12, and I usually have to pull the sound down even further. Okay, so I can't concentrate on a number until I can figure out how to change that number. I mean, we can be putting out numbers all day and all night, okay? And I'm not correcting what you're saying, Sly. I'm just saying I tried to make it lower, okay? What number it is, I don't know, okay? So let's go back over to the Sony, because if this sounds bad, let's go back over to something that I have used successfully over the years. And ready, off. And on. Okay, so now we are back on the Sony, okay? Now, the Sony also has a gain. Okay, let's see where that is. And I'm not going to change it. Don't get upset. Okay. It's over here. Up and down. So it's set the way I want. I ain't going to change it. It's not broke. Okay. So we're back on the Sony now. It's a little disappointing because I really thought that the Rode was going to be better or equal to the Sony. And then I don't know what I'm going to expect from the Saramonic. Okay, as you could tell, I haven't even opened this one yet. It was a roll of the dice. I was going to open one or the other, and the Rode is actually a bigger name, so I figured, let's go for the gusto. But apparently, if I could just pick on Rode for a second, they should make it easier for volume up and volume down. I'm going to take another look at the transmitter, just in case there's a button I haven't seen. There's an on and an off button on the transmitter. So I cannot lower the gain on the transmitter that I could see. All right, so wait a minute. I think I saw Shane in here. Here he is. The Saramonic will kill the Rode out of the box, but the Rode needs to be heavily dropped using the DB button on the receiver. Okay, that's the problem I'm having, Shane. I'm pushing the DB button. Now, it's not plugged in, but I could still see what's happening. Okay, so there's a dB button on the bottom. Is there another button hiding? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm trying to get it lowered. There's two buttons on the bottom. Okay, Shane, I'm talking to you right now if you're still with me. Okay, there's one that says dB, it's on the left. I think you've got the same thing. And Mark in Chicago, I think you've got the same thing. And Charles, I think you have the same thing. I'm not sure about you, Charles. So go grab it and look at the bottom. There's two buttons. Is there any other buttons? Because maybe Peter is not seeing something. There's a button on the top. Okay, and that's the power. All right, so unless it's a dual button action, I can't figure out how to lower the dB. Charles, you're speculating, buddy. Okay, I need to get the Rode so it's fair all by itself before I can make any kind of comparison. So you saying the Rode beats the Sony, this is not a football game. Okay, so let's stick with the problem. Do you have this? Charles, do you have this? If you do, I need to know from somebody how to lower the decibels. Okay? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just turned it off. All right. And so I don't want it off. I want it on. All right, so I'm going to turn it back on. So this is a little bit of a revelation how you can't work it, or let's put it, let me actually say it properly, how I can't work it straight out of the box. Okay, so I did charge it before I went to take a nap. Okay, let's turn the on button on. Okay, so now the on button is going on. I need an overhead camera because I just want to show it like that and all this glares. Okay, so all right, now it's on. Okay, we got a room full of professional YouTube people. All right, and I want to know how to lower the decibel on here. So we have an active mic and it's recording right here. Not recording, I mean it's showing right here. It's hot. So just as a normal YouTube content creator, I would like to just pick this up and lower the input of the decibels. Now, is that really hard to do? Charles, I think, mentioned that you have to do it in the software, which I can't do that. Okay, and what if I was on the road? I can't do it. So Shane says that's the only button you'll see the LCD change. So what do I do with the button? Bark at it? Okay, so I'm touching and pressing. You can almost hear like a silent click. Okay, so I'm actually holding the button now, but absolutely no change is happening. I'm going to hold it for like 10 seconds and see if something changes. Okay, so I did raise the volume. Let's go back down to what I have the Sony set at so we don't overmodulate on the Sony. So the Sony is set to 70. Well, 69 is close enough. Okay, wait, Charles has something to say too. So I have the Rode mic, but you don't want to listen to what I'm telling you. You need to set the mic with the app when using it with a soundboard, period. It works great out of the box when using it. Okay. Nope, no triangle. Okay, so I am listening to you, but I have to work with what I got. So you want me to just forget this then, because I have to use, let's see what Charles said again. It seems like an awful lot to lower the volume, Charles. Not picking on you, I want Rode to see this. I have the Rode mic, but you don't want to listen to what I am trying to tell you. All right, I'll listen. You need to set the mic with the app when using it with a soundboard, period. It works great out of the box when using it. All right, so if I need an app, gonna pick on you, Charles. If I need an app, it's not straight out of the box, correct? So we have another guy that actually has this, and that is Shane. There's a triangle you see change. Just tap it. Is the LCD tappable? Testing 1, 2. Okay, so I see a battery. I see a triangle. I see that I'm on number 2, and I see that I'm at negative 27 dB. Did it change? It wasn't negative 27 dB before, or I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so let's hit the triangle. Okay, so I'm touching the triangle on the LCD. Okay. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, so from the Rode manual, a single click of the gain control button will allow you to switch between high 0, medium 12, and low 24. All right, so I'm trying to actually raise it and lower it. So I'm going to click. It's at 24. Going to click again. It's at minus 18. I'm going to click. It's minus 15. Okay, as I click now, okay, so I see what you're saying. Thank you, Jim. Okay, so as I click, it's cycling through. You got it? So every time I click, it's actually raising the dB, okay? So now we're at 0 dB. Okay, I'm going to put the mic back up here where it belongs, okay? The mic down that low is not proper. Okay, so now we are at 0 dB. Now I'm going to click it, and I'm going to look at the LCD screen. Okay, now we're at minus 30 dB. And every time I click it, it's raising from the 30, climbing back up to the 0. So we're at minus 24. We're at minus 21. We're at minus 18. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are at minus 15. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are at minus 12. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are at minus 9. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are at minus 6. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are at minus 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. We are at 0 dB. Okay, so thank you, Jim. We got something going here. So every time I click the dB button down here, okay, it actually cycles through on the LCD, and it's going to go from 0 where it is now. I'm going to click it one time, and it's going to go from 0 dB to minus 30. Tell me if you can see a change. Okay, so here goes. I'm ready. No, you can't see a change. I'm not plugged in. What the heck am I doing? All right, let's go back over to this guy. Dumb Peter. All right, off. Okay, we're back on. Okay, so we are on the road now. That was kind of dumb. I'm looking for a change and I'm not even plugged in. So we're now on the road, which is up here, okay? And we are at 0 dB. Now, when I click the dB button one time, it's going to jump all the way down to 30. And then somebody needs to comment what you're hearing. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Click. Now it says negative 30. All right, so what did that do for you? Okay, did that, does that sound better now? Okay, so at negative 30, I could see I'm no longer up on the volume on my Ecamm. So I'm going to go from the volume level of 70, which is my normal volume, and I'm going to move it to, let's go to 90, okay? All right, so I raised the volume on Ecamm and lowered it to minus 30 dB on the road. All right, so now I need a judgment call, okay? I need somebody to say what it sounds like, all right? So that's minus 30. So Mark says minus 30 sounds good. Sly says way too low. Craig says much better. Mark says, Mark is shoot MDM. Okay, so when I say Mark, he's my buddy in Chicago. Okay, but not clear. Okay, it's not clear. All right. That I have no idea how to work with that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to click it now, and it's going to start raising it. So we're going to go from 30. Now it's minus 24. So now it's a little bit louder. Okay. So I'm going to put this 90 on Ecamm, which is the software that's broadcasting right now. I'm going to put it back to the 70 level, which is where the Sony is set for. And I'm going to start raising the dB here as, and you're going to listen and you're going to give me some instant feedback. Okay? So we are at 24, minus 24 dB. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm trying to stand straight so I'm not talking down into the mic. Okay, now I'm ready to click. I just clicked and we are at minus 18 dB. Testing 1, 2, 3, which means the volume is rising. So from minus 24 to minus 18, okay, I did 2 clicks and it brought it up just a little bit more. Okay, so testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so Charles is saying the gain on my board. The gain on my board is lower. The Sony doesn't allow, too much of an input. All right, so we are at 18. So all those that like 18, start voting for 18 because I'm going to click it 2 more times in a second, and it's going to raise the volume again. Okay, you ready? Click 1, brought it to minus 15. Click 2, brought it to minus 12. Okay, so now it is showing me on the LCD a minus 12, which is the number that Sly was trying to tell me. Okay, here's what she said. Better, keep going. So I'm not clicking very quickly so that this way you guys have time to react. So we are at dB minus 12 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10's enough. All right, so we are at minus 12. Now when I click it again, it's going to get a little louder, okay? So be ready for that, all right? So I'm going to click it again 1 time. Now it went from minus 12 to minus 9. Okay, so we are at minus 9, and I'm not going to rush this part. I'm going to keep it at minus 9 for a second or two and see if minus 9 actually is something that's pleasing. Okay, and I'm gonna have to watch all this to see what I like. But you know, you guys are content creators. So many of you, everybody I see on my screen is a content creator. So if this is not right, now what is the Canon doing? So the Canon is okay. It's not focusing properly. I might have bumped the camera and it's not centerized anymore. So let's move this over a little bit. Okay. Because that's annoying me. On top of the audio things, we have the Canon doing its little thing. Okay, not a lot of difference between minus 12 and minus 18. Charles says it will sound 100 times better without the lavalier attached. That I can do, okay? Mark says minus 12 is better than minus 9. Okay, so let's go to minus 12 again, which means I'm going to lower it down a little bit. Okay. Oh, I can't. I have to cycle through. All right, so let me cycle through and bring it back to minus 12. All right, I'm back on minus 12. So I have to bring it all the way up to 0, start at minus 30, and bring it back up to 12. Okay. Yeah, the fans are on in the room. Norm is saying. Okay, wait a second. I would say keep it at minus 11 or minus 9 and minus 12 and raise the volume on Ecamm. That's a good comment. Something I can do. But wait. Let's keep, okay. Charles says it will sound 100 times better without the lavalier. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So we're going to test that out, Charles. Everybody's going to get to decide. I unplugged it. Now I have this box. Okay. I'm going to clip the box to my shirt. And Charles says this sounds 100 times better. So let's take a vote if you like the box, which is what's active right now, or if you like the lavalier, which it's not plugged, it's just dangling. Okay. All right. So Sly did make a good comment to raise the volume on the Ecamm to 80 from 70. So we're going to slide up to 80. Oh, I went to 85. It's still not hitting the yellow, so I'll leave it at 85 unless, Sly, you don't like that. Okay, so Charles is saying that it will sound 100 times better without the lavalier. So now you can all decide if Charles is right or wrong. The lavalier is not plugged. The box is here. I don't like the look of the box. It's kind of dumb to me. Okay, as a photographer and a videographer, I would not have a box on the person. Okay, so this is with the box only. All right, no lavalier. And now I'm going to remove the box. And are you ready for this? I'm going to plug in the lavalier. Okay, and you guys can vote. Okay, the lavalier is plugged in. So is Charles right or is Charles wrong? Okay, is it sound better with the lav mic, or does it sound better with this mic? So now the lav mic is hot. That's what's on. I could put this in my pocket. Okay, so Norm says that's. I started to see what you said, Norm, and then I went back a little bit. All right, at minus 12, the sound is okay. At minus 9, I can hear the background noise like the fans. I have the air conditioner on in the room. Okay, so Jim says minus 12 is best so far. Minus 9 starts to be too much. Okay, Mark says minus 9. I peak at minus 9. All right, let me, where am I? Okay, I am at minus 12. Should I go to the minus 15? Am I overmodulating? Am I actually, a little bit too powerful here? So we are at 85 on the Ecamm, which is a volume slider. Okay, let me show you. Okay, I'll go to live demo mode. Okay, so now you see everything I see. All right, you see my preview window, which is the big window here. Okay, and you could see the volume. All right, so here we see the mouse right down here. All right, so it's set at 85. So Sly had suggested 80. So I'm hesitant to move right now until I get a little more direction. Okay, so we are not at minus 9. We are at minus 12. Charles says, hey, Peter. Hi, Charles. I will post my video showing how to set up the Rode properly for use with a soundboard on the Facebook group. Good. That'll be something I can watch. Good. But I can't do it now. Okay. Okay, so minus 12 sounds best, but you're still a little quiet. And we all know Peter Gregg ain't quiet. You're right. Mark says it does not sound better. It's more echo. I'm guessing that you're talking about the box versus the lav, right, Mark? It does not sound better, okay, because I got to remember that it's got like a 45-second. Sly says she likes the lavalier better, so that's 2 for the lavalier. Charles says it sounds clearer on the box. That's 1 for Charles's box. Okay. Jim Monday says lavalier, so it's 3-to-1. Okay, you need to use the gain when you're not using the lavalier. Lower the gain when not, okay. Mark says, what does Mark say? What does the Mark say? Oh, that's what the Fox says. Okay, the mic is better, that's 4. Norm, it needs a foam thing on the box to dampen the background. Doesn't have a foam thing. It's got a wind muff. If I can find it, I'd be glad to put it on. By the way, the Rode box sucks. Hello, Rode? The box sucks. Okay, so I have the wind thing here. Okay, let's get out of where I'm showing you my underpants. There you go. Now we can just see. All right, so this goes on the box. Okay, so I'm going to unplug the lav. Okay, so we're back to the box. Okay, so let's see how this gets plugged in. Okay, so I got, whoops. I thought I had it in. Word on the street is that this is a muffin. Okay, so it does have a foam. And it's got the windscreen. It's supposed to snap right on. Okay, so now I have the foam, and let's move it down here. Okay, so Norm says it needs the foam thing, so I've got the foam thing on here. He says he can hear the Windex bottle when the Rode is set to -12. So thank you for the joke, but the question is, where do you want me to move it from 12? To louder or softer? That's what I want to know. Aaron says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Charles says I sound nasally when I have the lavalier plugged in. Okay. Sly says 85 is good, but it's still not as loud as the Sony. So let's just go for clarity, and then I can raise it up and down. Okay. So this is with the foam and the wind muffin. Okay, see, I put it on. All right. Norm thinks this will sound better. So that's you know, I'm looking for input. Okay. Okay, you can also do is put the mic inside your shirt, and that blocks the echo. This mic or the lav mic. Since I like the lav mic better because I don't like this box, I'm going to take this off. Okay. Going to put it in the box so I don't lose it. And I'm going to plug in the lav mic again. I like Charles's idea. I'm going to put the lav mic inside my shirt. Sorry, I have to look at the mirror. I gotta see where to stick this thing. Oh, before I do that, I should put the foam on it, so it's going to drive us nuts without the foam. Okay, I put the foam thing so you can see it. I put the foam thing on, and now I need to look in the mirror to see where to clip this guy. How about right there? Ouch! Not there. Okay, let's button up. Okay. You see that little bump in my shirt? That's where that mic is. I'd have to move it around a little bit. Sly says the box is better with the foam thing. Mark said, well, I have the foam on the lav mic now. The lav mic is still better with the cattail on it. I call it a wind muffin because a lot of people call it a dead cat. I don't like that. Sly's still voting for the lav. Jim Monday, who's the one that got me going on how to get the DB. Thank you, Jim. I didn't thank you properly. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you for everybody for trying. I'm not saying anything negative, okay? Using a lav mic is better. Charles, I am shocked, but not with the Rode lav mic. The Rode lav mic is terrible. You know, Charles, that's a really good idea. All right, let's see how I can facilitate what you just said. So let me take out the Sony out of my pocket, because that I know is a good mic, okay? And unplug that guy and set it on the desk. I don't know if this is going to fit into the Rode, the Sony mic, okay? But it's worth trying, okay? All right, so I'm going to unplug the mic. It'll go silent for a second. Let me turn it off so we don't get pops. All right, I just plugged in the Rode mic, but don't forget, we are at minus 12 dB. So let's cycle through down to minus 12. We are at 0 dB, which means this is too loud. Okay, minus 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 27, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 15. Okay, so the next one is minus 12, but I want to see what the minus 15 sounds like. I'd like to hear from you guys that like Sly, who's been playing all along. Okay, so Let's see, there should be sound. I see it on my meters everywhere. The sound is going. When I unplug and plug the other one in, give me 5 seconds to find the hole, okay? Okay, so there is no sound. If you use a Sony or Sennheiser lavalier, you need an adapter. All right, so we're back to the mic that comes with the Rode. All right, so what will happen is we're going to finish the show. We're at the bottom, at the end. Okay, and maybe tomorrow I'll open up this booger and I'll just go live for a few minutes, and whoever's there can just kind of chime in and we can test this guy. Shane said the Saramonic is going to be much better, so that's why I got it, because of Shane. Okay, so there we go. So I learned how to change the dB on the Rode Go. The Rode Go 3, no, the Rode Go, what is this number? Rode Go 3, okay, so this is the Rode Wireless Go 2. Yes, I'm seeing lines with my glasses, okay. Sly says 15 is pretty good. I worry, just so you guys know, how many people are here? Anybody left? All right. I worry about overmodulation. So what overmodulation means in radio talk is if something is distorting because the volume is too high. So we are at -15, which means it's a little bit lower, okay? So now if I push the button again, it's going to go to -12. That's the number that Sly liked to begin with. So now I'm at -12 dB. And we're getting the sample out of that. So remember, I'm going to listen to this later, and I'll be able to pick which one I like. Okay, so the mic that comes with the Saramonic is compatible with the Rode. That's good to know. So when I get the Saramonic opened up tomorrow, I'm going to do a few tests. I might take it live, so if you guys are hanging around, it'll be in the early afternoon probably. Oh, Charles says I'm distorting it at -15. All right, so at -12, it's got to be distorting even more. I'm off to Friends with the Bar, at the bar, to shoot some pool. Have a good one, Peter. I love you so much, Mark. I really do. I pray for you guys every single day. Oh, if you guys, any of you are praying kind of guys, I talked to Liam today. He's got COVID, and he's down in the dumps because he's been sequestered into his bedroom. So you take a little 8-year-old boy, make him stay in his bedroom, and we had we even prayed together on the phone. So your Rode is too hot and over-modulating. All right, so let's go back to the lower one. Okay, 9, 6, 3, 0, 30, -27, -24, -21. All right, Sly, how does -21 sound? Oh, wait, I had the volume all the way up. No. That's not right. Okay, so let's go back to Sly's -15 or -12, and let's bring this back down to 85 on Ecamm, okay? Because Ecamm was pumping hot, 100%. Okay, so that would be what Charles is talking about. Okay, so we had a good time tonight. We talked about the Panasonic a little bit and got into a nice little wormhole here with the Rode. It's kind of like I found it actually more challenging than I expected it to be. Let's go up to the Nikon. The Nikon is right there. Okay, that's my sit camera. I found the Rode more challenging than I expected. The packaging with the Rode, now you're not going to play with the packaging after you open it, but you might have to go back in and get something. The packaging is horrendous. Absolutely, positively horrendous. Okay, so if I'm still overmodulating, I'm at what? I think I'm at a lower level, Charles. I think I'm at -15. So we're at the lower end, and I lowered the volume on Ecamm. I'll lower it down to the 70. I can't see from back here that number. I could see from up here. Okay, let's go to 75, which is a little louder than the Sony. Okay, so I'm just kind of paying attention so that I know what to start out with tomorrow. So I want to make clear that the packaging is horrible. Okay, and it is worth saying something about the packaging. It's clumsy, it's hard to open, and it's either too stiff or too flimsy. It's like whoever the packaging team is at Rode, I don't like your decision, guys, okay? So you need to look at the packaging and make it much better. All right, so I will look at the packaging on the Saramonic when I open that tomorrow. Okay, Sly says that seems to be the sweet spot. I still think the Sony sounds better, but if you were shooting outside, the Rode is smaller and more portable. So I think for my own sake, I do want to go back to the Sony real quick because I can go to the end of the video and do some comparisons. Okay, so I did not plug in the mic back into the Sony. So let's plug that in, tighten it up, put it in my pocket. All right, so you're going to lose me for a second. Chill, okay? You're just going to take the time to unplug one and plug the other. So off now. And back on. Okay, so let me set the setting here where it belongs, which is at 70. Okay, so that is where it belongs. Okay, so now I can come back here and talk with you for a few minutes before we sign out. So I do want to go to the Nikon, which is what that is. Okay, it's a completely different section. Slide, it's not on the slide bar. It won't fit on the slide bar because I'm sitting. I have to bring it down way, way lower. So I just got a little tripod sitting there. Works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the mic is still hot, and I can still see what's going on here on the LED. Okay, so we are back on the Sony mic, Peter, so you know when you watch this back and make some kind of decisions. I'm going to look and see where this app is, Charles, so I could find out what's going on with that. Sly says that's an amazing difference. Well, that's why I stuck with this so many years, because it's like $700. First of all, I'm not ready to get rid of it. I just spent $135. What month are we in? December. I think in September or October to buy a new mic for this one. Okay. Norm says, too many buttons, my brain is overmodulating. Is the foghorn working? Yeah, it is, but I don't use it. I think it's kind of rude. So at 11 o'clock at night, just to be nice to everybody, I did reset up all the cameras so you could see the white balance, the brightness. I added more lighting, so my face isn't quite so dark, and the lens here is not here, but on the E10 is a new lens. It's the Sigma 1.4, whatever the one. Okay. Charles says the app allows you to configure the mic also for internal recording. Oh, that's cool. Okay. This one will record internally also, right? I'll have to play with that app and see where it goes. But straight out of the box, it was a little bit of a struggle. And I have to say thank you to my friends, which are you guys, actually, more like family now, or really good friends, for helping guide me through this. So the lesson that I learned is the packing on the Rode is enough for me to complain about. Normally it's, the packing isn't so good, but who cares? Once you open it, it's fine. But it's not fine. Okay, there's no place to put this back. All right, they got a little black case. I'll take a look at that, and maybe when I make a video, you know, on these things, I'll bring it up to date. So we are on the Sony, but I left this on the -15. I'm just making that as a notation, so when I go and listen back to this, I'll know what sounds good to me. Thank you for your help, but I need to also, you know, see what I got going on. So now this is the Rode Unit 2. They gave me 2 units. The Rode Unit 1 is still in the box. So maybe I should be using the Rode Unit 1 first. Maybe that'll make a difference. I don't see how it would. Don't drink too much, Mark. I was just going to ask you. Stay safe, buddy. I want you around for a lot. After I'm gone, I want you to still be here, Mark, all right? So I did start to say that Liam's little 8-year-old boy's got COVID. He was down in the dumps. I spoke to him a few times today on the telephone and picked him up a little bit, and we prayed on the phone together. And actually, he kind of took charge. He said, okay, let me pray for you. How the heck does an 8-year-old boy know how to pray? Well, I guess they can. I mean, that's a little bit of a not so nice statement. But then he prayed for me fine. He prayed for my stomach. He prayed for the house. Where does he get all this stuff? He prayed for the house. Okay? Liam, if you ever see this, you need to pray for my finances. All right, guys. That brings us to the end of the show. I got some things to play with, and then we got a whole new mic to add to the mix. But boy, this kind of like sucked it completely into playing with a mic type routine. I wish Tom Buck was here. Let's go. Let me go through this and start from the beginning again. And see, I jumped right into the mic stuff. So where did I leave off? I know I saw Shane. I saw Woody. The gain on your board is too hot. Okay. I read those. I read them out loud. Okay, you need to play with the settings on the Rode. The Sony sounds the best. The Christmas mic comes in second, and the Rode dead last. Well, by what you guys were saying, yeah, hello. Okay, Charles says, I'm rooting for Argentina. So he's watching the game while he's watching this. Good for you, Charles. I know a lot of people are watching that game. Okay, so looking forward to your thoughts on the Panasonic. So we did deal with the Panasonic a little bit. I saw Mark. Ordinary Filmmaker says the ZFC. Yeah, you know, I think I saw that. So let's go up to the ZFC. You got something better to do, so just hold on, because I can fix this pretty quick. Yeah, that is pretty overexposed. So this is an easy fix. Okay. We got the brightness pumped up to +18. Okay, so now the brightness is pumped down to 0, and now it's -11. Okay, so that's better. Okay, not good. I'm going to have to go into it and actually lower the ISO. And so the problem that happened is, like I started to say, I added some lights. And I balanced everything, but I forgot about the ZFC. Randy, are you awake, or are you sleeping on your chair? He'll watch this later. And he wasn't feeling good. Randy's fighting a strep throat. So I'm praying for him. I'm praying for Liam. Anybody else sick that I need to pray for? Spit it out. Spit it out so I could add you and pray for you. Okay. So let's go all the way back down. -30 sounds much better. All right, I will listen to this. I can't say quite yet that I was disappointed in this. I definitely was disappointed in the packaging. No ifs and or buts. Also, the DB button, it took one of you guys, actually it took Jim Monday to tell me that it cycles, okay? I should have figured that out, all right? But I didn't. My fault, okay? So somebody said something about the lights look good. Thank you for noticing. Okay. Now we're off. We're off to see the wizard. Okay, so what time is it? Oh, 11:19. So I thought maybe I didn't talk long enough, but I did. So next Friday, let's have a show, even though it's the night before Christmas. Okay, Christmas Eve. It's good for us to get together. And we'll end on Amazon, on Sly saying that it's an amazing difference. All right. Good night, guys. Thank you for everything. I love each and every one of you. And have a wonderful week if you're shopping or whatever it is that you're doing. Have a good one. Bye.